Salve amiki, sum eride Wandalanda. Today I thought I'd try something different. Or, different being recording a video and speaking over it. In this Speedpaint, I'm drawing the main characters from my comic, Judas Side. It's a webcomic about reincarnation, eternal love, and trauma, with some fantasy elements sprinkled in. Every chapter is about a different incarnation of the same two characters. The one on the left is Hain, and the one on the right is Lon. Ta-da! To those of you who are already readers, now you know for sure how to pronounce those two names. I've always wanted to draw these two sitting under a tree. There are a lot of sketches laying around, like picnics, garden variety cuddling, and a few like this one. I ended up focusing more on the environment and background than I would have otherwise. I wanted that to really be one of the focal parts of this illustration. According to the footage, I spent around 7 hours on this piece, which is way more time than I could ever dedicate to any one panel. Autumn, the chapter these two are from, is still ongoing. Even though I draw them a lot, comics, it's nice to be able to draw them outside of the plot, This illustration takes place after the chapter ends, so I'd say they're about 23 and 21, Hain being 23, if they were human, of course. They're super broke, their clothes are tattered, and they don't really have a solid place to live, but it's still way better than what they were dealing with before. It's probably the first time that Lon has ever seen verdant grass, like, whoa, grass can be green. There's things that aren't sand and stick like straw plants. Hain, on the other hand, who's seen a lot of these things, is just happy to be alive after everything that's happened. He's just vibing. The events of the plot still weigh heavy on their minds for certain. Though they find it a lot easier to cope being by each other's side. I don't think they would do very well if separated after plot. One of the themes of the comic is eternal love, after all. Coming back to the background, I like including flower symbolism when I'm able to. It's something that I find can give subtle nods to people who recognize certain flowers. For example, including things like hydrangeas, or gladiolus, or tulips even, can have this kind of dual meaning. There's a lot of flowers that we find super pretty that would outright kill us if we ate them, and I think having that sort of duality in the image that I'm making is really interesting. I find that kind of symbolism is underutilized in a lot of art. The tree that they're sitting under is a purple wisteria, which isn't technically a tree, but a vine related to peas and legumes. In East Asia, where the trees are native, they're thought of in terms of wisdom and purity, as well as things like noble love. A lot of beautiful art about them for this reason. They're incredibly beautiful plants if you've ever seen one. The thing is, in North America, where I'm from, wisteria trees are incredibly invasive and considered along the lines of pretty choke colors. You have to be very careful to keep your wisteria tree, if you have one for ornamental purposes, from climbing up other native trees or even buildings. Wisteria plants are known for choking rivals to death with their trunks. It's intense stuff. Another thing that is striking about wisteria is the way that it flowers. To me, it brings to mind things like weeping willows. All wisteria flowers come down in clusters called catkins. They have this conical shape to them, but it's inverted. The entire wisteria tree, though, is poisonous. From its flowers, to its sap, to its seed pods, you do not want to put any part of this in your mouth. If you touch one outside, you should wash your hands before you try to eat. These two characters sitting under a tree, to me, feels like a good symbol of a childhood that's lost, or coming to maturity. Especially with the idea that wisteria is a pretty, incredibly pretty plant that ultimately kills what it touches. I think that's very fitting for these characters. No spoilers. And with that, I think the image is done. Thank you so much for watching. Wala ta'amiki. I'll see you later.